In today's demo, we're going to demonstrate the power of IronCAD's catalogs, both the standard catalogs as well as using some custom catalogs that have been created. From our tools catalog, we're going to go ahead and drag in a hot form steel. As you can see, we have just about any kind of structural shape available that you could use in your design process. So for today's example, we'll go ahead and pick a W6 by 12. We'll make it 24 inches long. By using F10 to activate the tri-ball, I'm going to right click and drag, and we'll link here 24 inches. And what I'm going to do is we're going to build an assembly today without using any sketches, using standard components and catalogs. So from our Flex Shapes catalog, we'll go ahead and drag in a gusset that we're going to use to mount a shaft. In this case, we're going to be placing a bearing. I'll go ahead and make an 8-inch overall dimension. We'll click on our hold, F10 to activate the tri-ball. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit distance from point. We're going to go ahead and pick 3 inches, and we want to resize our hold to 3 inches as well. Now what I want to do is I want to go ahead and coming back to our tools catalog, we'll drag and drop in our bearing. I know I'm going to use a 1-inch shaft, so we'll enter 25.4. And again, activating the tri-ball and using the space bar to reposition the tri-ball, I'm going to lock that axis, left click and drag to that point, left click and drag to that face so that I'm aligned. Now very quickly what I can do is I can right click and snap the point, pick the outside edge so that we're lined up. And again, I want to resize this so it's nice and flush with the bearing. Now what I can do is I can highlight these, activating the tri-ball and the space bar to reposition. I can snap to that corner, left click and drag snap to that corner, and reposition to that corner, and I'm going to right click the point, and then I'm going to right click that point and click link here. And that way now I have the beginning of my two support gussets. Coming over to our standard shapes catalog now, what I'm going to do is right click and drag to that center point, and I want to drop that as a part. I'll activate my tri-ball real quick to reposition. By left clicking, I can type in 1.5, right click the point and snap to that point so that I'm aligned with that edge. What I want to do is I want to keep building on this cylinder, so I'm going to left click and drag right onto the center point. We'll type in 1 inch for our shaft diameter. Left click once on our outside handle for 2 inches. Now getting into our standard catalogs, if I come over to my design variation catalog, I have a thread profile that was custom created, and since we know what's a 1 inch, standard threads per inch on a 1 inch shaft is going to be 8 threads per inch. I click OK. Coming over to our thread feature, I can click my part. You can see it's already picked up our profile. My start pitch will always be 1 divided by my threads per inch. My start distance, I want that to match. So we'll click our face. You can see we have a preview of our thread profile. I finish, and I've created a thread real quickly. I won't need that profile anymore, so I'll go ahead and delete that out. Coming back to our tools catalog, I want to go ahead and from our fasteners, I'm going to drop that on the front of that shaft. I want a washer. Click OK. We'll activate our tri-ball, snap to point, and again we want to put a nut on here now, so we'll drag out our fastener again. We'll go to our nut catalog, 1/8. Again, activate the tri-ball and snap to point. And let's shorten this thread up a little bit. I'll hit the tab to come to my profile handle. I'll edit distance from point, click the face and type in 0.25, and you can see it's recalculating and finishes our thread. Now what I want to do is I want to continue my shaft on the other end. Coming back to our shapes catalog, we'll drag left click and drag another cylinder, type in 1 inch again. In this case we want our shaft to be 3 inches, because what we're going to do is we're going to put a sprocket from our custom catalog, again our design variation catalog. And in this example what we'll do is I have actually created this based off of a spreadsheet. So in this case I want to use a 40 pitch. My tooth quantity comes up with options. I want to go ahead and go 16 teeth per inch, and I want to go with a 1 inch. We'll save that. I'll go ahead and hide that. Now I can left click and drag my sprocket out. It'll grab that information from Excel. Boom, builds a sprocket for me automatically. We'll activate the tri-ball and just drag that in there. The final thing let's do is we'll go to our sheet metal catalog, and we're going to go ahead and put a guard around this really quickly. So I'll just go ahead and zoom in a little bit, drop that on the face, and F7 to look straight on. And then what I can do is I can just go ahead and do a rough size on my guard. Bring that down below there. We want to snap that to that face. So we'll go ahead and zoom in. And from our sheet metal catalog, we'll go ahead and drag and drop a bend in there. I'll double click that. I want my outside vertex. We'll do 1.5 inches. Coming up to our sheet metal ribbon bar, we'll add miter. We want to close this flange up, so I'll click my flange. I'll click this option for where I want it to do, and I want to do all 3 sides, so I click the face, I click finish. You can see that closes up really nice. Now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and highlight these 3 sides, and again F7 to look straight on. I want to go ahead and pull this up, and so I get my 3 sides covered. And the last thing we'll do is from our sheet metal catalog, we'll drop a nice fillet on the corner. Let's say we want a 1/4 inch fillet. We'll do that on both sides. And very quickly you can see, without any sketches and from standard catalogs and custom catalogs, created ourselves a nice model here of a shaft with sprocket, and all done with our catalogs.